Now we need to create some custom admin accounts to manage this Jenkins server. So we'll go to manage Jenkins. It's asking to deploy multiple things. We will do it later. Now I'll go to configure global security. And I will just use some, we'll make sure that Jenkins on user database is checked, and we should allow users to sign up. It seems there is some issue with this Jenkins server. I think we need to update all the errors. We need to correct all the errors because we are not getting the metrics based login system. It should come here. So we'll just go back and we will first correct that, and then we will proceed with this. So these are the errors that we are getting. So we'll just first correct these errors, and then we'll proceed with manage credentials. So it will take some time. It will check the updates, it will install them, and then it will restart the Jenkins service. So it's going to take some time. Anyway, it seems the updates are not getting installed, or there's some issue with the credential manager. So let's not create some more users. We will continue using the admin account, and we will handle this because that's not the agenda here. So we'll just skip this part. Another thing we have to make sure is the AWS code pipeline plugin. So this plugin should be installed so that this build tool Jenkins can talk to AWS code pipeline. So we have to make sure that this is installed, then only we can proceed further. Now we'll go back and do some configuration on the system. So let us go to manage Jenkins, configure system. So since we are using rake as a build tool, we'll be defining some environment variables here. So I'll just add it. We can give the name as path and path user local bin. Okay, that's fine. So this is the path where the rake build tool will be located. So we have just mentioned that in the environment variable. Now we'll save this configuration. So now we'll create a build project that we'll use in code pipeline. So I'll just click on new item. I'll give it some name like build project. This will be a freestyle project, and then we'll do some configuration. So for source code management, we are using AWS code pipeline, and currently we have our resources in US East 1, so we'll select US East 1. So also we can see it is asking for some AWS access key and secret key. So that is not required here because we have already attached a IAM role that will have access for all these. So we are not going to select this. And for category, we are going to select the build, and the provider will be Jenkins. And we will select in build triggers, we'll select pool SCM. That means it will keep on checking for the builds, and here we'll select 5 stars. That usually means it will do a pulling every minute. This is not a production environment, so we can afford this. However, in production environment, this is not recommended, but we are doing some testing, so we'll just want to do it quickly after every minute. So I'm selecting this here. So again, in build, we are going to select execute shell, and here we are going to give break. So what it will do is it will convert the HAML file to index.html. So after it will complete the build. So that is what it will do. So now in the post build action, we will just select AWS Code Pipeline Publisher. So we will add a publisher. It will ask for location. We can keep it blank. So after the code, this pipeline is completed, it will save the artifact to some S3 bucket in some location that we don't really need to care about. So this is how our build project is defined. So we can just click on save. So our build is defined. So now the next step is creating the pipeline. So I'll just go to AWS console, and I'll go to AWS Code Pipeline, and I'll build a pipeline. So here I'll just get started. I'll name this pipeline as Jenkins pipeline. I'll select the source provider as GitHub. I'll connect to GitHub. Since I'm already logged in, so it will just connect it without any issues. And then I'll just click on my repository where the files are located. So I'll just select Jenkins, and then the master branch. If I see the advanced button, there's nothing much we need to care about. So that's fine. We will proceed to next step. Build provider will be Jenkins. Okay. So I'll just give Jenkins. And here I'll give the server URL. I guess this will do the job. And then the project name will be build project. Now we'll click on next. It seems the provider name is already there. So let's select Jenkins and see if that is going to work. So we'll just give the project name, and we'll go to next step. And the deployment provider will be AWS Code Deploy. The application name is Web, as we created in last video, and the deployment group will be App Web. So that's fine. We'll go to next step. We have already a role in place for this job, so we'll just select that role, and on the next step we're going to just review it. So I think everything is perfect. So we'll click on create pipeline. So the pipeline has been created now. We have a source, we have a build stage, and we have a staging stage. So let's see if it's able to pull the repository and is able to push it to the deployment group or not. So I'll just wait for some time until this is completed. So before that, I will just, you can see the source is succeeded now, and for the build stage is in progress. Before that, I just want to show you that there is nothing working on the server. There's no web page on the server. See, we don't have anything on the server. It's not resolving to any URL. So just wait for the build stage to complete, and then the deployment. Maybe after that we'll be able to figure out. Okay, so we got a failed status here. So let me just check it, why it's failed, so that I can fix it. Just a moment. It seems there is some issue with the Jenkins server, so that is why we are facing this issue. Even if we see the details, it's not prompting up. So that is some issue with the Jenkins server. But the steps which I told you, that are those are the steps which need to be executed for adding the build step. So I hope you enjoyed this session. So thank you for listening. Have a great day.